Hey guys, so we're gonna do something a little different. It's super hot outside here in Oklahoma, and I just don't want to go outside. It's really hot, and I don't have air conditioning in my shop, so we're gonna do something inside today. Um, we're gonna mess with a 3D printer, and we're gonna make a. I'm not too sure what they call it. It's like a piece, the plastic piece on a key for a car, that surrounds the key. It's not a key fob. It's just part of the key or key case or something like that. So we're going to repair one using the 3D printer. So we're going to go into tinkercad and we are going to design a piece to go on this key, and then we're going to glue it on there. Let me show you what we currently got. I'm going to flip you around and show you. So this is the current mess we have. This is what we come up with in a pinch to try to fix this key. It's actually to our truck. So we're going to try to make something a little better. And I'll do my best to show you the images of what I'm doing on the laptop in tinkercad and setting up to create an STL file for this piece I want to make. I actually got to go out to the shop and get the calipers because I'll have to take some measurements and stuff like that, but we're going to use a little bit of that wire, I think, also to strengthen it so it's a little stronger, and see if we can put something together a little better. Alright, well, as I get ready to show you pieces of this process of making things, I'll just take small videos of the process so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so here's the key that we're going to making a new piece for. We are going to make a new surround for this, or a new plastic piece on the 3D printer, which is right there. We're going to use that, and we're going to design and print a new piece to go around this key. It ought to work pretty good. Alright. tinkercad. This is what I use. There's the hand wheel and some other stuff I've come up with on tinkercad. I'm fairly new to it, but I'm learning how to use it. It's pretty cool. You have to think different to use it. You have to rewire your brain to think a little different. But you're basically taking shapes, adjusting those shapes to different sizes, and hold on, am I recording? I don't think I'm recording, darn it. Oh yeah, I am. And you make those shapes work for what you need. So we're gonna tinker on something new project. Alright, here's my first iteration, or my first prototype of this piece. So this is what I come up with so far. So there it is on tinkercad, and I transported it to an STL file and printed it on the 3D printer, and that's how far I got. So now I need to, this is my first prototype, I got a long ways to go. I need to recess the key into this, and I need to print 2 halves. And then I'll probably try to round this off a little bit and make it a little bit better. But that's kind of what I'm shooting for. Okay, here's the second prototype printing, and I'm going to show you on Cura and tinkercad what it looks like. I'm going to take it apart on tinkercad, but here it is on Cura, which is the slicing program. And let's see if I can zoom in on it. Well, that ain't working very good. Well, there it is on tinkercad, on Cura. And let's go to tinkercad and show you what it looks like there. Alright, there's a nice big image. Okay, so what I was going to do is this is what I made just now. This is the second prototype. And I'm going to select it. And then I'm going to ungroup everything so you can see what I did. And then I'll just hit undo. And you can see all the different shapes used to create that. So here's the ungroup right there. I'm going to start clicking it and you're going to start seeing it. There's that piece, that piece, that piece, that piece, that piece. I'm ungrouping everything that I had to do to make that one thing. So now that's that one piece. Then I'm going to undo it all. So now it's back. tinkercad had a little bit of a learning curve, and I think I explained that already. And the learning curve is you have to think a little different. You have to think about shapes and how to use shapes to your advantage to create something. So you're adding and subtracting material as you go. So say you start with a circle and then you want to take another circle out of it, but you want it to be a hole. You click a hole and then you have a sphere or a shape, you have a hole. I'm going to move that hole into the middle of this, and then I'm going to group it together. I'm trying to do this so you can see it too. And then you have to hit the shift key and select both items to group it. And then I'm going to hit that and group it together and see now it's gone. So I've taken that whole section out of there. And that was just an example. Now I can just delete it. And it's gone. But that's what I had to do here, is you make a shape and then you take other shapes and use them to either add or take away. So you have to visualize what you're making in shapes that you can remove and add, or add to your piece. And it is actually measurements. It's actual measurements. And I'm American. I go by inches, you know, and so it's inches on everything. The total thickness is 175 thousandths. The width is an inch and 5/8. The length is an inch and a half, or whatever I think it is. And you actually have actual measurements on Tinkercad, and it's the most amazing program. I really love it. If I was doing a review on Tinkercad, I'd just be like all excited. And I think anybody can learn to use Tinkercad. Kids, adults, everybody. You just have to think different. And I guess this is a little bit of a review on Tinkercad. So I'm going to stop that right there and make some more content. Alright. Okay, so this whole key idea of mine is an utter failure. This is the remnants of the key. You saw it without the plastic on it earlier. Inside that plastic somewhere is a chip, because the truck will not start without that plastic on there. So that's the end of that video. I'm not making anything for this key. My wife and I are just going to have to save up the money and buy new keys. Yeah. So, alright. Just wanted to let you know that. Like, subscribe, hit that bell, and I appreciate anything, any content, any comments, or anything. Thank you. Bye. Hey guys, back on this key thing for a bit. The last video, the last clip was a screw up on my part. I forgot that this was a chipped key, And when I removed the pieces of plastic that were on the key still, it wouldn't start the truck. And I was like, well, and good thing I saved those pieces of plastic. I guess embedded in one of those pieces of plastic is the chip for the key to start the truck. It's the only key we have right now, so I'm going to have to invest in some keys for it. But for now, I decided to continue trying to make something to keep us from losing those bits and pieces, and hopefully keep us from not being able to start the truck for a while longer. Yeah, I was a little bummed about that. I didn't even think about it. I knew about the chipped key. I mean, being a mechanic for 30 years, I knew it was a chipped key, but I just didn't think about it when I got this idea to make a key holder, or a key fob case, or whatever you want to call it, to make this key we had for this truck a little bit better. So anyways, I'll probably end up having to invest in some new keys here in the near future. Unfortunately, Ford keys are fairly expensive, the chipped keys anyways, and then you have to have them programmed most of the time. Some trucks, some F-150s, like, I can't remember the year, but they had to where you could add a key without having to have it programmed. I don't know if my truck has that capability. It's an 07, and I know some of the years had the capability where you could add a key by performing a certain combination of key on, key off kind of stuff with a new key, and it would recognize that key as a usable key. I just don't know if my 07 F-150 has that capability or not. I don't remember. For a time, I worked in a Ford dealership for about a year and learned a lot about that kind of stuff during that time. So let me show you what I come up with, and we'll have to go see if it'll work in the truck. So here's the piece in Cura that I come up with. I actually was doing some experimentation with it before I started, but what I made wasn't quite right, and I had to come up with what to do with it. So that's what I made. It's just an empty case that fits the original key with all the bits of plastic glued together inside, and then it's closed with a piece of Gorilla duct tape. So I talk about improvising on this one. I really did some jerry-rigging. So I'm going to take you out. We're going to see if it'll start the truck and go from there. Yeah, it starts the truck, but it's not right. I'm going to have to go take it off. It's not going to work like I wanted. I made it too big. So, back to the drawing board. Hey guys, so it did start the truck. It worked okay. You had to kind of put it in and push it a little bit, but it was still hitting the steering column. I just made it too big. So yeah, it's just the diameter of this is too big and it hits the steering column. So I'm going to have to rethink the whole thing and redo it. But I haven't come up with an answer yet on how I'm going to do it. I'm going to go ahead and stop this video here though, and just work on it off camera and come up with an answer. I think that's enough on the video. But I'll figure something out. And anyways, like, subscribe, and hit the bell, and thank you very much for watching, and I will talk to you later. Bye.